Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Now, I'm sorry I didn't upload yesterday. I wanted to cover this as soon as possible. We're going to be talking about XRP, but I was gone all of yesterday and I was watching it all unfold live. I was dying to get to my computer so that I could make a video. I've only just become free now. I've come straight from work. So, sorry if this video feels a bit rushed and a bit sort of unprepared, but I've been looking at the charts whenever I've got the chance, just looking at sort of interesting little bits and bobs that we'll bring up in this video, and of course, addressing whether we're now in an altcoin season. Has XRP lifted us out of the altcoin season? I mean, Bitcoin's dominance has dropped to 46.5%, I think, since XRP's pump. I mean, the altcoin space in general, total 3, I think, gained an extra $40 billion of value, which is roughly half of what Tether's market cap is, for comparison. So, a big boost to the altcoins, and especially XRP, which rose like 70%, I think, from here. Let's check. But a big boost for the altcoin space in general. 71%. Yeah, okay. In fact, if it goes to the top, it did literally a 2x, give or take, which is great. I'm happy for Tether. Now, it's not Tether, XRP, sorry. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, which to be fair, I wouldn't be surprised about, because so many people don't. It's not blown up on my YouTube or my Twitter, or, well, I've seen it on Twitter actually, but on YouTube, for people who wouldn't be in crypto Twitter, I'm not seeing much at all. Like, I have to actively search for it. It's not popping up in my recommended either. So for those of you that don't know, XRP has recently the lawsuit has ended with the SEC, and the judge announced that basically XRP is not a security when it is traded on public exchanges. Like, if you buy it on Coinbase, you're not buying a security. If you're trading it on Uniswap, it's not a security. You're fine to do so, and they haven't, it's good, basically. That's really good. That's the news that we wanted. But also the downside is that they labeled it as a security when they have their initial coin offerings, their ICOs, which is basically when they offer it to private investors at a much cheaper price, and it's not usually available to the public. Now, some ICOs are, some aren't, but they usually look for funding from big investors, by selling their coin at a very cheap price to these investors before it launches. And on the Genesis block, we see that, whatever 5 million XRP goes to whoever is as a payment for their investment. But that has been labeled as a security. So basically, ever since XRP's mainnet launched, after its first Genesis block, it has not been considered a security, which is great news, which means now that every other crypto, in the top 50 that isn't a rug pull and, has just been operating like XRP on public exchanges, being traded on DEXs, has not been violating the SEC's regulations, because it's not a security. Now, whether they get punished for their initial coin offerings, I don't know. Maybe, probably. I can't imagine, they're going to want to inflict as much damage as possible, I think, to be honest. And I think that will be what drives any downward price, if we have any. If we have any big downward price movements, I think that will be sort of the thing. They'll, they'll attack XRP or other cryptos in that way for their initial coin offerings, because now the judge has said that they were securities, or they were sold as securities in those instances. But that's not really, for viewers of my channel, we're all normal basic traders, probably just buying on exchanges and stuff, so I don't think it's actually going to affect you. And I think this is also a good thing, really. I think, like, the whole point of crypto was that it's supposed to sort of spread and dissipate the power across normal people instead of giving it all to banks. And when you have these big institutions that own 3% of the network, and you have 5 of these institutions that own 5%, 25% now belongs to these giants, and it goes against what crypto stands for. So I think, to be honest, it's a double win, so hopefully we won't have initial coin offerings now, which I know might stagger innovation a bit. It might slow down projects. They might not get the capital that they need to achieve their goals as fast as they could have. But I think this brings us more to the decentralized, even playing field that crypto was all about. So I see it, in my opinion, as a win-win. One of the best outcomes that we could have had. So hopefully you have a good understanding of what has caused this price action. Ripple had a good conclusion with the SEC's law case. It's the conclusion that many people wanted. It's not a security, basically. Ever since it launched, or just after it launched, it's not considered a security. Now, whatever happens afterwards, they might refile. I don't know how this sort of thing in America works. Just because one judge has ruled, they might ask for a retrial or rejudging. I don't know. I hate to always. I'm the type of guy that will always be scared to count my eggs before they've hatched, even if we've had great news like this. I would always be worried that the SEC is going to find another way to, cause some pain for the crypto space. So whether it's Gary Gensler announcing something on Twitter, or, they file a counter sue, or whatever, I don't know. I would just be a bit of a bear, especially in these times. Now, I mean, XRP is kind of is challenging its 2020 sort of levels here, which is pretty impressive. I mean, we're still down from our highs, but to be up here is very strong, or to at least wick up here. I mean, now we're sort of, we've come down a bit, which is to be expected, of course, but it's very impressive price from XRP. And I did also, I'll just point this line out quickly. I thought it would be interesting. It's basically from the peaks that XRP has had, its big two major peaks, they line up perfectly with where we just peaked yesterday. And I don't think we'll break this line too soon. Well, again, I'm in a split mind over this. I've been thinking about it a lot, and there's definitely a bullish narrative and there's definitely a bearish narrative. And narrative will follow price. Whatever happens, people will be able to explain it. 2020 hindsight, it's perfect, it's brilliant. But to predict where it's going is almost impossible, especially with stuff like this, because we've never had a crypto win against the SEC. There's nothing that we can compare this to in the crypto space, because it's never happened before. You can say like, we've seen big jumps like this before, where it jumps 2x in a day or whatever, and that was over whatever news that announced that, and they launched their partnership with whoever. And yeah, there is a part of that that's true, where at the end of the day, this is just good news, and that's why it's rallying. But I think this is such a substantial, huge development that has been ongoing for 2 years. I mean, this is why I think the price action will stay up. This is the bullish narrative. I think that people have been, ever since 2021 or 2000 it was 21, I think. I think this is the drop that, when XRP got sued. 2020, late 2020 even. Ever since late 2020, beginning of 2021, when it got sued, people have, they were invested at the beginning, they were supporting XRP, and, obviously it did well in the bull run. You had a lot of hype around it, good news coming out, this and that. Obviously followed basically the bear market on the way down, like every other alt and Bitcoin. People were supportive, but after a year of this going on, it's very hard, especially with poor price action, it's very hard to stay emotionally invested for that long. It is tough. Like, it's really tough. and for it to keep going, and then after this big drop, and then FTX another big drop, lose all the recovery that we had. It's really rough for these people, especially when all the time there's this bipolar news coming out on the lawsuit, like, oh, we're getting these documents released that the SEC don't want, but the SEC have managed to give an example of when this was proved in court, and XRP does the same thing. And there's always, and I think just being barraged with information like that the whole time, it's finally come to an end. It's finally over for these people that are holding XRP. They don't have to put up with this, constant barrage of news and good and bad news and all this. It's over, and it's over in a way that they wanted, in one of the best ways possible for them. So I think that having waited this long, I think we're going to have at least, we're definitely going to have more than one day of celebration. This is a huge win for the whole crypto space in general. All the other layer ones like Avax, Sol, and ADA have pumped. I know ADA went up like 30%, and I was actually quite lucky. Yesterday morning, I put something like only 200 quid into ADA, and I got it at like 28 cent, and it's now at like 34. I was laughing about that, but all these layer ones are up because it just means that there's so much more safety and security from the SEC's attacks. They don't have to worry now, because they will always be able to cite, if they're sued, that XRP was labeled not a security. It's a very good day for crypto. And of course, what's his name from Celsius, Mashinsky, has been arrested, which is also brilliant news. He just seems like a straight up criminal. Well, he is a straight up criminal, but also just like psychopath in the way that he handled that and lied to people's faces. So a brilliant day for crypto, honestly, a brilliant day. And obviously the price reflects that. So in my opinion, I don't think we're heading straight down. I think we'll break through this as well. I think we'll be above the $1 mark, and I think we'll stay there for a while. I mean, if we pull out our old Fibonacci sort of friend here, I want to have it so that there are levels that we can push up to, you can see that, our next line of resistance, there will be resistance at the $1. We spent huge amounts of time around the $1 here. It's just not really showing up in this Fibonacci. We will have resistance at the $1, but after that we're at $1.12, and then after that, I think if we break through that, I think we could really retest. Now this is if we have sustained big positive price movements. I don't know if that will happen. I think maybe we might see a few more little bumps up as we see, XRP being relisted on exchanges. I know Coinbase has said they want to relist XRP, and they will do as soon as possible, as a middle finger to the SEC, basically, for suing them. I'm sure now that institutions are going to be happy to partner with XRP as a payment platform, because that's essentially what it is. That's what it markets itself as. It wanted to do, I think it was for banks originally or something like that. I can't quite remember. Again, I'm not too involved with XRP, particularly, literally because of this lawsuit. Because in my eyes, it was any good or bad price action coming from this is solely based on announcements from this lawsuit, which is gambling in a sense, because nobody knows what's going to happen until it happens. There's no way of knowing for sure. Even with the announcement today, I didn't even realize that we were due an announcement. I mean, people were always saying, oh, ruling's going to come to an end soon, so I never really believed it. But now that it's, so I never got into XRP. That's why you won't really find any videos about it on my channel. I don't think I've done one. I'm pretty sure I haven't. Maybe it came up in an altcoin comparison, but I haven't really covered it. And this is why, because it's solely news-driven price action, really. I mean, it's followed it's followed the same pattern that Bitcoin has, you know, with this bear market. But yeah, I kept away from it just because any sort of short-term news was going to be, this lawsuit related. And I don't really do short-term on this channel. I like to give my opinion. Like, obviously, we're going to be talking short-term a lot on what's going to happen in the next few days here, because that's what everyone wants to know. And I want to give people all the information that's available. Because people are definitely going to try to trade this. And I would be in the camp that it is going to go up. Now, I don't think it's going to go up much more. I think we've had our big wick here. This is our big price move. So whether we go up to a quid, whether we drop to a sort of 65-cent sort of range, I don't know. I mean, even we know that sort of $1.10 is our next big resistance. You know, 95 cent also seems to be a resistance. If we take our Fibonacci and we basically draw it from here, we can see that currently, you know, that's probably, I'm gonna do a bit of selective, you know, a bit of, okay, that'll do, that's fine. You can see obviously that we closed. I'm gonna zoom right in so that it's clear. We put in our sort of top resistance here. This swish faded off. We dropped down below this second support, and we're in this sort of third range here now, this second range, where our support seems to be 75 cents and our, you know, our resistance is 83 cent. I think we will stay in here for a day or two. I think now is the time where people are anxiously or like jittery with the price of XRP. I think we're going to see it go up and down in here for a day or two. And then I think there's going to be some announcement, whether it's good or bad. I tend to lean towards the good side. I think there's going to be some announcement from some big firm, you know, maybe whatever it is, some bank decides to use XRP as its back-end payment system, or USDC decides something, or some government decides to, whatever happens. Again, this is why I stayed away from it. It's totally speculative, 100% speculative. Some news will come out, and whatever that news is will be what drives us either up into this range again and maybe beyond. You know, maybe we break the $1, or it'll be bad news and we go down to this sort of 65 cent, 70 cent area, maybe below, you know. Or it's all what depends over the next few days. And I know you guys want me to say it's going to go up, it's going to pump, you know, we're in new altcoin season, baby. I cannot say that for certainty. Nobody can say that for certainty. Although the general sentiment around this is celebration. And again, I think people are going to celebrate for more than one day. I don't think this is a great, it won, now forget about it. I think this is going to be something that at least sustains XRP's price for a week, give or take. And if we keep climbing consistently, I think we'll come up to this sort of level. I think we will. But it has to be sort of, you know, green weeks, multiple weeks of green, you know, where we're putting in, you know, higher lows, basically. And now, I also want to talk about, is this the end of the Bitcoin dominance rally? Is this new altcoin season? I, again, don't know, but I want to lean to no. This has definitely harmed the Bitcoin dominance, 100%. Bitcoin dominance is at, let's see, dominance. Bitcoin's, oh, it's back at 50, is it? That's not right, is it? Oh, oh, I thought it dropped way more. Okay, sorry, my bad. For some reason I had a feeling that Bitcoin was down at 47% or something. We're still above this 50% mark for Bitcoin. Let me just market cap BTC dominance. Yeah, that's what we're on, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, we're still above this 50% for Bitcoin. Sorry, I really thought that had dropped lower. I don't know where I saw that or why that was in my mind, but we're still above this 50% mark. Now, I think Bitcoin dominance is going to go up. Now, of course, I've been saying there's always an exception with altcoins. Ethereum was an exception last cycle. You know, it was the one that sort of defied Bitcoin, blew up, kept blowing up, did amazing. Maybe XRP sort of plays that role this cycle. Maybe after this news, it just keeps on doing well. And even if it takes a 20% drop, it takes a 20% drop from $1, goes down to 80 cents, you know, something like that. And then slowly over the next 2 months, it, you know, puts in an extra 25% and goes back. You know, I think XRP will do well from this. I can't see XRP dropping below 50 anytime soon, being honest with you. I know we were sort of floating around that 40 cent, 50 cent mark a few days ago. I can't see it revisiting there unless something really bad happens. I think we've had this great news, and like all news, it wears off and people forget and move on. But I really think this is... Anybody who's been anybody in crypto has been following the XRP case, even if it's like slightly, or, you know, as vaguely, you know, uninterested as possible. They've still been following it. You can't escape it, especially now that we're in a now that we're in a bear market. I mean, the only people here now are the people that are actually invested in the crypto space. Like, really, they're the only people that care. It's these long timers. It's the, you know, like people that are genuinely interested in the space and be following stuff and learning about new developments. They all follow XRP, and this is a huge win. And everybody knows, because it's all of us hardcore bear market survivors that are here now. Everyone knows how substantial this is for altcoins. Hugely substantial. It's massive news. So I think that like XRP is only going to be celebrated for this, because it's basically the golden child now. I mean, it's the same with Bitcoin. They said Bitcoin is sufficiently decentralized, it's not a security, blah blah blah, it's safe from regulatory scrutination. Why isn't XRP now? No, I mean, I know it's probably going to see some regulatory headwinds with its ICO coin offering, but all altcoins are. XRP has just sort of cemented itself as, if you want to buy it now on an exchange, you can do that totally legally, and it's not a security, and the people that are selling it to you haven't been breaking securities law. Which is, again, amazing news. So I think Bitcoin dominance will continue to climb. We did drop below that 50%. We are currently above it. I don't think we'll break down below. I think Bitcoin dominance will continue to climb. I mean, this is pretty normal. I mean, we saw something like this here. We saw something like this here. We saw something like this here. We saw it here. We see it all along the way. It's pretty normal. And a 2% drop, yep, that's pretty substantial for Bitcoin dominance. You know, $40 billion into altcoins. Very impressive. But I think in a week, it'll only be XRP that is still celebrating. Again, it like I said, it's a tide that lifts all boats. All these other altcoins now are celebrating because they know that they're not going to get regulated out of existence by the SEC, and they know that they're probably not going to get a lawsuit either. So everyone is celebrating now. But XRP, again, they're the one hosting the party, and it's going to carry on even when everybody's left, I think, personally. So XRP, I think, is probably going to do well, at least over the next few weeks. Now, whether it, let's get this up. Oh, sorry. Now again, whether it sort of floats just stays in this range below $1. I think that's quite plausible. I can see us making it like floating around here for a day or two, and then climbing up to this sort of, 85 cent plus range, sort of going up and down here, and then we might climb above $1. But in general, I do think it's bullish. Now, it all depends on what comes out over the next few days, what happens. I think there's going to be a lot of hype around it. I think there's going to be a lot of people that just haven't heard. And I think the reason a lot of people don't know at the moment, and it's not blowing up on YouTube, is because everybody's so skeptical that it's actually true. I think a lot of, or, that there's some sort of caveat, or that, they're waiting for the SEC to clap back, or something like this. So I think that's why a lot of people have held off initially from making big videos and puff pieces, and not puff pieces, like this, that, and the other, because I think they know that the price action ultimately depends on what's announced on within the next few days. So that's why I wanted to get in now and just make you aware of that, just so you don't, jump into XRP, put all your money on it, and then, somebody in the SEC announces that something bad is happening, or they're going to try to do something bad, and it drops to 60, 65 cent, It's just something you should be aware of. Instead of thinking that, oh, okay, XRP won, they're safe from the SEC now, altcoin season, please, Which could well happen. I'm not saying it won't, but it's just not as surefire as a lot of people want it to be. I think everyone in the crypto space now is going to mainly read from pro-crypto articles and pro-crypto influencers and YouTube channels, and they're going to not overhype it, but they're going to be celebrating because it's good news in general. And I don't want that to lead to people aping in, putting all their money in XRP because it's the new moon coin, and then the SEC announces something and everybody loses their money. I just don't want that, especially for my viewers. I appreciate you guys a lot. So yeah, I think that basically wraps up the video. Do I think we're going into an alt season? No, I think Bitcoin dominance is going to keep going up. Now that doesn't mean altcoins can't go up as well, but I do think ultimately Bitcoin will outperform most of the altcoin space. I don't think it'll outperform XRP over the next few weeks. I think XRP is going to have good news be released over the next few days. Whether it be partnerships or whatever, and I think a few things will come out about the court cases where XRP did this wrong and XRP did this wrong, and a bit of dirt be sort of, and a bit of slander to its name that the SEC will publicize or whatever, or pro or anti-crypto news companies will promote and things like this. XRP never disclosed blah blah blah. But in general, I think it's good news for XRP. I really hope that over the next few days it's more good news, and in turn more good price action. I think it deserves it, to be honest, and it just means it's drawing more people into the crypto space. I mean, hopefully we've seen our lows. I think we've seen our lows for Bitcoin. I think we've probably seen our lows for XRP now. I can't see it going much below. I can't see it reaching, 30 cent again. Again, totally possible. That's a 60% drop roughly from where it's at. So, but that's for another day. Hopefully it's not for another day. Hopefully she stays up. It's a good day for crypto, guys. Celebrate it. Smile. It's over. And yeah. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, guys. Sorry again, it was a bit rushed, and sorry it was a bit slapdash. I've literally only managed to sit down now, and I've gone straight into this video. So maybe over the next few days I'll put something out again about XRP and see how it goes. I might do another Bitcoin dominance video and just go into a few interesting factors on what might happen with the dominance and whether we're in an alt season. That'll probably be, actually I won't be able to make a video tomorrow. Sunday I'll probably make a video on whether we're in an alt season or not. But I ultimately think no. I think XRP is going to mainly lead this charge. All these other altcoins are going to be, not going to follow the pump the way XRP will, as long as it's good news that comes out about XRP. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Have a great weekend. And yeah, leave a subscribe, leave a like if you want. Please leave a comment. Always love chatting to you guys. Take care and peace. Thanks.